good? What's good? Good rough breed. Nah. Let me bring that back. What's good, rough breed gang? Stop playing. You already know what I'm saying. And I'm back again with another video for you beautiful people. Back like I never left, baby. Hey man, I'm gonna take this off right now because I don't even know. It just matched the drip, so I put it on, but I gotta show y'all the fresh braids, man. How y'all doing? How y'all been? What's poppin', slimes? I'm straight. You know, I've been living, I've been doing my thing. Obviously, life, you know, that's what happens, and then skedaddling on out of here, and I'm skedaddling on back. I got all the energy for y'all. You already know the vibes. If you don't know the vibes, learn the vibes, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell, do all them things, man. But this ain't my first rodeo. This not your first rodeo. I mean on YouTube. So you know what to do. I don't need to tell you. If you interested, you know what to do. Today I'm doing a little different video. Something different than maybe what you guys are used to in the past, you know? But I'm not gonna explain too much. I'm just gonna dive right in. So without further ado, you guys are probably like, where have I been? So I'm gonna answer that first. And don't mind my handy wandy book. If you see me looking down or whatever, it's because I have a lot to say and I want to fit it in a good amount of time so I can keep everybody engaged at all times. You know what I'm saying? A couple new tricks up my sleeve. So just don't mind it. Don't think I'm bored looking down. No, I'm just looking down at my notes. You feel me? So where have I been? I've been figuring out life, you know what I'm saying? A lot of changes after my accident, change of scenery, change of friend group, change of mentality, healing, my healing journey. I've really been engaged with that, you know, confronting a lot of skeletons in my closet, closing a lot of chapters that were being prolonged. When I say being prolonged, I mean being prolonged for years and years and years. That should have been closed, that I finally whipped it together and closed, you feel me? So that takes a lot. So I just I want you guys to know that, man. And kudos to you if you're doing that, closing the doors or whatever to long chapters that should have been ended a long time ago, you know. I'm figuring out who I really am. Not to mention I have an old lady, you know, and she takes up a lot of my time. For those of you who are not from Florida or the South or country or anything, old lady is like my girlfriend, you feel me? So don't get it confused with mom. No. That's my girlfriend. I got a girlfriend, you know, it's my girl. So, you know, she take up a little bit of my time too. I got a new profession. You feel me? I'm not gonna get into it right here on here, but I do have a new profession. That takes up time too. And I'm just figuring out like what I like and what I was programmed to like. So to elaborate on that, I'm figuring out who the real Bree is. That's my name for those of you who don't know. You know, I go by Rough Breed, but my name is Bree. And I'm figuring out what I like and what I was programmed to like. And I suggest, that's my first suggestion to my viewers right now. You need to figure out what you like and what you were programmed to like. You feel me? And that's real. So I'm just trying to be better daily and I'm just learning new things. Again, in this thing called life, I'm just learning new things just like everyone else is learning new things in this thing called life, right? It's just a journey. It's just a journey, right? It's not, well, how's the saying go? It's a marathon, right? Right. So before I continue, the name of this video, as you can already see, is Walking in Your Truth, Avoiding Distraction and Negativity, Keeping Faith even when all hope is lost. I'm not religious. I'm not religious, so don't put that to religion, because I know I said faith and, you know, I don't know how y'all are and whatever. I'm not knocking anybody. Everybody do whatever you want to do, you feel me? This is my video. This is my opinions, and you either fuck with it or you don't. And I'm here. I'm keeping it real. I'm about to drop a lot of knowledge on y'all from what I've gathered in my journey so far, and yeah, you're just gonna get a little taste of my brain, right? So yeah, I guess the first thing I want to start with, y'all, is the one thing I realized is how much I appreciate my solitude, which is the art of being alone, which doesn't equate to being lonely, okay? So when I say my solitude, I mean, it's really a peace of mind, because when you're growing and you're learning and you're actually trying new things, you start to realize new things. You get what I'm saying? So I started being alone, spending more time with myself, I'd rather say, figuring out what I like, figuring out what I don't like, figuring out what I was programmed to like, figuring out those type of things, right? And really a lot of stuff, people aren't aware of this. People always think they need gurus or they need advice from this person, but nobody ever looks within. And that's the art of being in your own solitude. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really important. I want to say my darkest times were when I was surrounded by so many people, but the love was fake, right? So that goes back to being in my solitude. I learned that really my central group that I used to just be around all the time was just pure fake love. Just pure fake love. And I mean, I don't even really want to give energy to that or them or whatever, but they were just terrible. It was really fake, and that's what led me to, you know, start being by myself. Obviously, when you don't have no one to hang out with. And at first, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I didn't understand it. I couldn't comprehend it. I was like frustrated. I'm like, damn, like, but I learned and I started appreciating it. You feel me? So like I said, the darkest times was when I was surrounded by so many people, but the love was fake. I realized I didn't love nor appreciate myself and allowed way too much to happen continuously. You know what I'm saying? That's very important too. That's something that's very important too. You have to learn to really love yourself, because when you truly love yourself, you stop allowing certain things, certain behaviors, just certain, you stop putting yourself in certain situations. You stop dealing with certain energies. You stop worrying about certain attitudes. You do a lot. You do a lot. And I had to realize I didn't love myself, and that's why I was allowing a lot of things to go on, because we have more control than we are aware. We need to set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, we don't set boundaries. Let people, we're people pleasers, or we let people walk all over us, or I don't know. And there's many reasons to that, right? Whether, like, you're not just like a problem person. You're not just this bad person, right? So a lot comes from the traumas that you dealt with when you were younger, or as you got older, or whatever traumas you dealt with as an adult, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a reason. There's always a reason. You know, so don't ever just sit here and think, oh, I'm just trash. You're never trash. You're never trash. Always beautiful people, like I say in the beginning of all my videos, right? So next I realized I was a people pleaser, and I put others first. And I'm gonna, obviously this is what I'm trying to say, but I put others first and even before myself. But I have to put emphasis on that, because even before myself, not just even before myself, but really like even before myself, I was worrying about if you and you was happy before I even contemplated if I was happy, if I was at peace or anything. And I realized I was a people pleaser, and that's one thing that I had to change. That's one thing that'll have you just in a cycle, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like other people are more important than you. Again, it goes back to just not knowing your self-worth. You know, when you people please, it's a part of not knowing your self-worth. Because if you knew who the flip on deck you was, you feel me? If you knew who you were and you stood your ground, people pleasing would have slide. Because if you think about it, those people who you constantly people pleasing for, people gonna take until you don't got nothing to give, until you a piece of shit on the floor, until you just nothing's left. If you let them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you gotta start setting them boundaries, them big boy boundaries, them big girl boundaries, you feel me? All right, anyway, and most importantly, I learned the world will tell you exactly what to do if you let it, and most of society doesn't understand that they subconsciously let it. The world will make you feel like the problem when you don't accept just going with the flow in all aspects and relationships. One must truly realize that. Honestly. So, do you guys need me to double that back? Let me double that back for y'all, because I really want y'all to understand what I just said right now. I realized that the most important thing, or one of the most important things that I've learned, was the world will tell you exactly what to do if you let it, and most of society doesn't understand that they subconsciously let it. The world will make you feel like the problem when you don't accept just going with the flow in all aspects, in all relationships. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, me, y'all, I don't know, y'all probably could tell, but me, I have a strong voice. You know how they be like, speak with your chest, Luna? Me, I'm gonna speak with my chest all the time. And I mean, as I'm getting more comfortable in my skin, the easier it is to just do that, to say it with your chest. You feel me? Honestly. And I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, y'all, like, how can I explain? I don't know. I know, but I don't know. You know, I know. No, but on a serious note though, just don't ever let the world make you feel like you're the problem. Just because you sit here and say it with your chest, or just because you demand respect, and that's what I lost my train of thought. That's what I was getting at. So me, I am very assertive. I don't know. I'm very me, right? I'm not even trying to dwell on myself right now. I'm trying to point it out. It's like, I demand respect, but I give respect. So don't think otherwise. I demand respect because I give respect. Okay, so again, I demand respect because I give respect. And I realize with the older generation especially, if you demand respect, they take that as a form of disrespect for whatever reason. And I've had a lot of personal experiences with that. I've had a lot of people talk to me about that. You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing. And you that's where it goes into, like, you start to think you're the problem just because you're not complying to what authority says, or what this person says, or what this person says, because everybody else is doing something and you just don't want to do that. That doesn't make you a problem. Just because you're not like the rest of the world doesn't make you a problem. And a lot of people try to sit here and force that mentality onto people, and it's not fair and it's not legit. Everybody is not a robot. Everybody is not meant to do the same thing. Everybody is not meant to be the same person. We're different. And that's true. That's why I'm saying, y'all. Sorry. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, don't let anyone make you feel like the problem. You're not the problem. You're not the problem. I mean, I don't want people to really sit here and confuse that with anything, because we all have things we need to work on now. Don't get it wrong. Everyone has issues. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has flaws, and our character flaws, or whatever, things you need to learn, or whatever, you know, things you're working from the traumas of whatever you have to deal with. Nobody's perfect. So don't think that. We all have things we need to work on, but never let anyone make you feel like you being you doing you, or being who you are, or walking in a room demanding respect is the issue. That's not the issue. You get what I'm saying? But let me continue though. So yeah, y'all. So I'm saying, but you also have to have accountability in the part you play in your own turmoil, right? Hold on, y'all. One second. Let me double back, because I want y'all to really understand these things. So yeah, anyway, so like I was saying, but also have accountability in the part you play in your own turmoil. That's very important. You must be accountable. You can't just go around pointing fingers at everybody. You can't control the things that are going on around you, but you can control in here. And I'm starting to really learn that, because even when you're trying to be better, that doesn't mean everybody else is also trying to be better with you. People do it now, that's it. And people just don't be worried about you, and stuff just don't, that's just real. So like I said, I'll repeat that, right? Okay, have accountability in the part you play in your own turmoil. So I'm gonna keep going. I also realized that everybody else isn't your responsibility. Like, you can lead the camel to the water, but you can't make him drink it. Be responsible for you and all you can do. Those who are supposed to receive and understand you will. People may even change, but one must always protect them. And then you can protect, teach, and possibly guide or help others. Get you right first is mandatory, right? That's very important. And that's what I was telling you guys in the beginning. I had to start getting me right. Being in my solitude, figuring out what I like, figuring out what I want, figuring out what was programmed into my mind and what I actually want. And you will be surprised. A lot of people, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that leads to that mindset right there. It leads to a lot of depression. And I'm saying, well, if you're not learning your true self and all those things I just said, it leads to depression, it leads to anxiety, it leads to a whole lot of things, y'all, when you're just not sitting here being true to you. You get what I'm saying? So yep. All right, so what others have going on has nothing to do with you. And that's what I was just saying. You can't sit here and take everything personally, right? So if somebody comes and projects onto you, you can't sit here and just take it personally, because it doesn't have nothing to do with you. So if somebody sits here randomly and they come up to you and they call you, you're ugly. You're ugly as fuck, bro. You're just ugly. For no reason, right? How does that have to do with you? It doesn't. They're having a shitty day, they came and projected onto you. But if you let it affect you, it definitely will affect you. Like, you know, and that's another thing. Just because somebody says something, it doesn't mean that it's true. Just because someone comes and says, oh my God, you're an